David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, there's breaking news as we come on the air in the West. There has been a major break in that manhunt. In the Brown University deadly shooting, sources telling ABC News there had been a possible connection with the murder of an MIT professor just days later. And then tonight, police moving in the images from the scene, and Matt Rivers standing by with this major turn tonight. Also breaking this evening, the plane crash, killing a NASCAR legend and his family. The horrific moment of the crash in North Carolina. A small jet going down in rain and fog, trying to return, crashing hundreds of feet short of the runway. At least 7 people killed, including a NASCAR great, his wife, and his children, and what we know so far. Also tonight, we're tracking this major storm moving into the Northeast. More than 100 million Americans under high wind alerts. Dangerous wind gusts, snow, freezing rain hitting the Northeast tonight and tomorrow. Sam Champion standing by with the forecast. At the White House tonight, President Trump acknowledging health care premiums are about to skyrocket for more than 20 million Americans. Where is the plan from the White House or Congress before they go home for the holiday? Tonight, new images showing an out-of-control car slamming into a hardware store. There's news tonight nearly 3 decades after the killing of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey. In New York City tonight, the major change, Pope Leo with his first major shakeup in the U.S., replacing Cardinal Timothy Dolan. The flu fears tonight, right before the holiday, the new warning this evening about a powerful new flu variant. And our great Made in America Christmas 1 week to go, from the sunglasses JFK once wore to the famous brass buttons. The ideas tonight with some American history to put under the tree.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. As we come on the air in the West tonight, we do begin tonight with the breaking news. There's been a major turn in that manhunt after the deadly mass shooting at Brown University. Late today, sources told ABC News there's a possible connection with that shooting and then the murder of an MIT professor just days later. And then tonight, police moving in. You'll see the images right here. Matt Rivers leading us off with the breaking news tonight.
Tonight, after 6 days on the run, authorities say they have finally located the suspect in the deadly Brown University mass shooting. Sources say he has now been found dead. Authorities now investigating a possible connection between the deadly mass shooting at Brown University and the killing of an MIT professor of nuclear science. Police previously releasing images of this man, described as 5'8" with a stocky build, captured on surveillance, walking in the neighborhood near the location of Saturday's attack. Around 4 p.m., authorities say a shooter fired more than 40 rounds inside a lecture hall in an engineering building, killing 2 students, Ella Cook and Mohammed Aziz Umarzakov, and injuring 9 others. Soon after, a person of interest caught on surveillance appearing to walk away from the building as a police car pulls up. Federal and local law enforcement swarming the area searching for the killer.
Providence Police! Hands!
Then 2 days later, about 50 miles away in Brookline, Massachusetts, esteemed MIT nuclear scientist Nuno Loureiro found suffering from multiple gunshot wounds in the entryway of this 3-story building Monday night.
5th Street, reported gunshots. Father was shot multiple times.
Loureiro, a husband and father of 3, died at the hospital the next morning.
David, authorities initially said that they did not believe that these 2 shootings were connected, but tonight this blockbuster development. But so far, investigators have not said what connection, if any, the suspect might have to either Brown or MIT. David?
All right, Matt Rivers leading us off here while we're on the air in the West with the breaking news. Matt, thank you. In the meantime, we turn now to another breaking story tonight. The horrific plane crash. And just a short time ago, NASCAR and loved ones now confirming that former NASCAR legend Greg Biffle and his family were killed in a fiery plane crash in Statesville, North Carolina. Take a look. The horrifying images of the crash coming in tonight. Authorities say the jet was trying to return to the airport, trying to land in rain and fog shortly after taking off, crashing just a few hundred feet short of the runway, igniting a trail of smoke and flames. At least 7 people were killed, including Greg Biffle, his wife Christina, and 2 children. Authorities say the plane slammed through a fence, debris scattered on the runway, the airport closed. Greg Biffle was well known in the NASCAR world, named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers. Tonight, investigators are on the scene at this hour, and ABC's Victor Oquendo with the images coming in.
Tonight, the horrifying moment a small plane crash landed in North Carolina, exploding in a fireball. The burning wreckage skidding across the airfield, leaving a trail of smoke and flames. Late today, family confirming the devastating news. NASCAR star Greg Biffle, along with his wife Christina and 2 children, among the 7 people killed.
Aircraft emergency. Aircraft is down. Unknown subjects. Runway 28.
The doomed 44-year-old Cessna jet in the air less than 10 minutes after taking off from Statesville Regional Airport around 10:20 this morning, according to Flight Radar 24. The pilot attempting to return to the airport when it crashed just short of the runway, smashing through the trees, slamming through the airport fence, carving a deep gash hundreds of feet long. Witnesses horrified.
When I walked over there, you could actually see the flames, and I mean, it was huge. Huge.
The mangled wreckage seen burning near the runway.
It'll take some time to get the debris off the runway to get it safe again.
55-year-old Biffle was a NASCAR legend, winning 19 races over his 14-year career, nominated for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. He was also an avid pilot, flying hundreds of rescue missions into North Carolina after Hurricane Helene devastated the region last year. Biffle posting this incredible moment when a man used a mirror to flag him down in a helicopter.
I just caught out of the corner of my eye at the very bottom of this ravine the flash of the mirror.
Tonight, Biffle's family saying this tragedy has left all of our families heartbroken beyond words. Their absence leaves an immeasurable void in our lives.
Tonight, NASCAR says they are devastated by this tragic loss. The NTSB is investigating this horrific crash. We know there was rain and reduced visibility at the time. David?
Victor, thank you. And as you heard Victor say, that crash in difficult weather. And tonight we're also tracking this major storm moving into the Northeast next, just as millions begin traveling for the holiday week ahead. More than 100 million Americans tonight now under wind alerts at this hour, gusts up to 70 miles per hour from Montana all the way east there on the map to New York and right up to Maine. Snow, rain, and damaging winds moving into the Northeast overnight and tomorrow. And here's the system that's coming. Blizzard conditions slamming Minnesota. In fact, a no travel advisory issued for the Northwest part of that state. Rain and wind for the morning commute here from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia, New York, right up to Boston. Sam Champion is here with the forecast and Morgan Norwood with the images tonight.
Tonight, howling wind and snow shutting down interstates as a massive coast-to-coast storm takes aim at the Northeast. All-out blizzard conditions in Brookings, South Dakota. This video shot by storm chaser Justin Franson early this morning. Minnesota State Patrol showing the whiteout on Highway 2 east of East Grand Forks. North Dakota Highway Patrol shutting down Interstate 29 from the Canadian border all the way to South Dakota. In Colorado, the wind flipping at least one plane and damaging several more at Boulder's Airport. And where there's no snow, the winds are fueling fires. Overnight, east of Denver, multiple fires breaking out in Yuma, Colorado. Flames tearing across the horizon. And back in South Dakota, this out-of-control fire in Rapid City. Crews scrambling to dig lines and attack the fire with hoses. A nearby television station reportedly forced to evacuate for a time. This same system taking down massive trees and knocked out power to hundreds of thousands in the Pacific Northwest. A new system moving in there, bringing more high winds and rain tonight.
And David, here in New York, we're bracing for wind gusts that could top 50 miles an hour today and tomorrow, which, by the way, is expected to be the busiest travel day of the holiday season. David?
No question about that. Morgan, thank you. Let's get right to Sam Champion tracking it all tonight. Hi, Sam.
Hey, David, it is a busy travel time again. They say records, and we've got 2 storms on the board. One in the middle of the country, one in the northwest. Look at the wind, rain, and snow involved with both of them. We'll go right to all the watches and warnings that are out across the country, and they really are coast to coast. More than 30 states are involved in some kind of wind watch, warning, or advisory. And look at those blizzard warnings that are in the Dakotas, into Minnesota as well. Watch this cold front. This is the biggest storm on the board, and it's working toward the New York and Washington and Philly and Boston area right in time for rush hour in the morning. Travel depends on some bad rain, but it also depends on the rough winds, and we'll have both of them in this system. Could be anywhere from a ½ inch to 2 inches of rain in this, some kickback snow and the cold winds that come along behind it, and those winds will be 40, 50, 60 miles per hour on the East Coast. Now look at the wind and snow that's back up to the northwest. This is another storm that will move across the coast in the next couple of days. David?
Some rough weather for sure, but always great to have you, Sam. Thank you. At the White House tonight, President Trump acknowledging health care premiums are are about to skyrocket for more than 20 million Americans. The president was pressed, where is the plan from the White House or Congress before they go home for the holiday? And there's news tonight. The White House now says the famed Kennedy Center has been renamed the Trump Kennedy Center. Mary Bruce at the White House.
Tonight, President Trump making it clear he does not want to extend the expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies, which means in just 2 weeks, insurance premiums for millions of Americans will soar.
More than 20 million Americans are now bracing for their premiums to skyrocket. Are you going to let this happen, or will you intervene?
Yeah, they will skyrocket because it was never any good.
Reporters pressing again, what will happen to those 20 million Americans who rely on the expiring subsidies?
But do you want Congress to extend these ACA subsidies?
Well, I'd like that to be able to do it.
The president claims he somehow wants to bypass insurance companies to pay people directly, but he hasn't explained how or what this would mean for Americans' health care. And he has not released a health care plan of his own. During the campaign, he said he was working on one.
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
Now, 11 months into his term, still no plan. Today, the president turning to one of his top health advisors, Dr. Mehmet Oz.
We have some ideas out there. Congress is working through some concepts.
Meantime, today, the White House with a different announcement. The board of the Kennedy Center, handpicked by the president, had voted to rename the performing arts institution the Trump Kennedy Center. Trump had already named himself chairman of the board, recently hosting the Kennedy Center honors.
A very big hello.
For months, Trump teasing putting his name on the building.
Some people refer to it as the Trump Kennedy Center, but we're not prepared to do that quite yet.
But today, he said he was surprised.
The board is a very distinguished board, most distinguished people in the country. And I was surprised by it. I was honored by it.
But David, legal experts we've talked to say the board can't actually make this name change, that it requires an act of Congress. But take a look at this on the website tonight. There's that new name anyways, the Trump Kennedy Center. David.
Mary Bruce at the White House again tonight. Thank you, Mary. Late today, the owners of TikTok signing a deal to sell the app to mostly American investors, including Oracle and Silver Lake. The sale has been in the works for months. Congress passed a law last year banning the app in the U.S. unless it was sold. President Trump has postponed the ban through a series of executive orders. Tonight, President Trump signing an executive order easing federal restrictions on marijuana. The move paving the way for the FDA to study its possible medicinal benefits. Marijuana is currently in the same category as heroin, ecstasy, and LSD. The president's order reclassifies it as a drug with a low to moderate risk of dependence. It does not legalize marijuana or allow it for recreational use at the federal level. When we come back here tonight in New York City, the major shakeup tonight, Pope Leo with his first big move, replacing Cardinal Dolan. Also tonight, take a look, an out-of-control car slamming into a hardware store, a very close call for the people inside. There's also news tonight, nearly 3 decades after the killing of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey. In that case, we'll have it here. And our Made in America Christmas, 1 week to go. Tonight, some ideas with some real American history behind them. From the sunglasses JFK once wore to the famous brass buttons and cufflinks. A lot more news ahead tonight. Stay tuned. Tonight, a close call for the people inside a hardware store in Redwood City, California, south of San Francisco. Take a look, a car smashing through the store's wall, nearly hitting the employees by the checkout. The car igniting a fire that quickly spread. No one was hurt, and officials believe the driver confused the brake with the gas pedal. Nearly 29 years after the death of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey, Boulder, Colorado police say they're now considering new evidence in the case. Police giving an annual update in the case, saying they have conducted new interviews now and have re-interviewed several people based on new tips. JonBenet Ramsey was found dead in the family basement on December 26, 1996. Tonight, Pope Leo with the first major shakeup in the U.S., replacing New York's Timothy Cardinal Dolan. Chicago native Pope Leo appointing Bishop Ronald Hicks of Joliet, Illinois, to succeed the retiring 75-year-old Dolan. Tonight, Dolan calling Hicks, quote, immensely qualified. Hicks will be installed in February. When we come back here tonight, the flu fears just before the holiday, the new warning about a powerful new flu variant here in the U.S. And take a look at this tonight, the Koala saved from oncoming traffic, in fact, given a place on the bus. Holding on tight there in a moment. To the index of other news tonight, a new flu variant is spreading in multiple countries, including here in the U.S. Early data from the CDC tonight suggesting this season's flu vaccine may not be as effective against this new variant. But medical experts tonight saying the vaccine still reduces the risk of serious disease. A bus driver in Brisbane, Australia, helping to rescue a koala, dodging oncoming traffic. The driver bringing the koala back onto the bus. The koala there clutching onto a pole. The koala released into a nearby nature reserve the next day. Back in the U.S., no winner, so the Powerball jackpot on Saturday, now $1.5 billion. That would be a very Merry Christmas. When we come back, speaking of Christmas, our Made in America series, 1 week to go. Some history tonight, from the sunglasses JFK once wore to some very famous buttons and cufflinks in a moment. Finally tonight here, as you know, we celebrate Made in America year-round, but this Christmas, you've outdone yourselves with your ideas. Tonight, it's hard to believe Christmas 1 week from today.
How you doing?
Hi, David.
Our 14th year.
Hey, David, come inside.
With your help, every corner of the country this year for Made in America. Alabama, Nevada, California, Georgia, North Carolina, New York, Idaho, Pennsylvania, Texas, Tennessee, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Missouri, Maine, and Maryland, too.
Made in America.
Your one thing, Made in America, under the tree this year.
Hi, David.
World News Tonight viewer William Lohman with his idea, and he's wearing them.
As you can see, I'm wearing my American Optical Pilot glasses.
We thought it was a classic look for William, who played us a holiday classic.
Merry Christmas, David, to you and your staff.
You too, William. His idea, American Optical, outside Chicago since 1833.
Hi, David.
CEO Scott Shapiro.
I'm proud to say that our sunglasses and eyeglasses are still made right here in the United States.
They're Saratoga sunglasses, a favorite of President Kennedy on Cape Cod, the boat in Hyannisport.
This is the Saratoga, famously worn by President John F. Kennedy and looking just as fashionable today as it ever did before.
The NASA Gemini astronauts of the 1960s, the pairs they're wearing, the original pilot.
The entire team was outfitted with these sunglasses when they took that amazing journey for the first time. And today, our original pilot is our most popular style.
Decades later, still going. 200 workers, more than 5,000 frames a month. Tonight in Cheshire, Connecticut, the Waterbury Button Company, since 1812.
Hey, David.
Owner David Fraser.
Come on in, it's snowing. I'll show you what we got going on.
38 workers, and tonight they tell us they're hiring.
Hi, David.
The button assembly team.
Merry Christmas and have a happy holiday.
John, one of the new hires.
We're just putting the finishing touches on these buttons.
The brass for their buttons from Iowa and New York. A storied history, too, making all the brass buttons for the U.S. military.
Captain Butler.
And Hollywood, too, this scene from Gone with the Wind. Even the crew on the Titanic, their uniforms had the brass buttons back in 1912. 85 years later, they made the buttons for the Titanic movie. And tonight, they're hard at work with 1 week left, still making their buttons and their cufflinks, hoping you'll think of them for this Made in America Christmas. We love those words, Made in America. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night. I'm David Muir. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the third year in a row.